Greeting. Excuse me. Greetings, everybody. Let me take a drink of water. Sorry, but as you can see, this is going to be a very candid video here. But this is an introduction to my Patreon artist online open studio. This is a preview of what will be going on in my studio. My name is Xenobia Bailey, and I'm a crochet artist and fiber artist, and I photograph and I create contemporary urban folktales. And one of my projects that I'm working on, well, one of them is the Patreon project, but it's an online open studio, and I'm going to let viewers have an inside view on what goes on in my studio as I prepare a new body of work. And this new body, well, there's several things that I'm doing with this new body of work. One of the projects is a contemporary urban folktale. It's going to be like an epic folktale. It's going to be non-stop. I want to leave it open, almost like well, I don't know if they still have cartoons in the newspapers, because I don't really read the cartoons in the newspaper, how they're ongoing stories. So this is about a supernatural Black bohemian community of creative people, very creative people. Basically, the community is African American, but like all communities, there are other nationalities and groups that are part of that community. But this community, they're all artists, and they create a lot of their things, and they have these stories that I want to put together, pretty much because of the times we're in. And I want to kind of present some answers, options for answers. But anyway, not to get into that too much, because you can get the more of that information on the Patreon. But what I do is I'm collaborating with a few other artists. One artist does the costumes, and another artist does the jewelry. And of course, you can see this is a Barbie doll. But what I'm doing is the furniture pieces, and also these are standing as prototypes for a collection of full-size furniture pieces. I want to the story is going to be kind of like a narrative of how these people live with these with their self-sustained community. So this is one of the furniture pieces that I created. This is a crocheted piece, and it too is a prototype that will possibly be done full size. I'm still working on this, but it's kind of distorted in this image because of the angle that I have the camera in. This is an ottoman, and this is a chair, kind of like people will sit in a chair like this. The ottoman will probably be soft sculpture in the top, because if it's fully soft sculptured, it would be too heavy to move around. But the ottoman is it has a frame underneath it, and the textile is draped over the frame. Another project that I'm working on, I'll put my little community member over to the side here, and the furniture piece. There are other furniture pieces that are crocheted. A lot of my things are done on a circle. One of the projects that I'm doing is it's working with these different crochet pieces. These are kind of like color exercises, working with frequency and vibrations of color combinations. Even though these are all the same color combinations, the way that they're composed will create a specific kind of energy. So I'm working with that. See, this is one set. This is one set. Each set has 5 colors in it. 5 different colors, but they're just composed differently to see the energy and the frequency that they create. And I want to do an experiment, you know, with these to just kind of see how these colors create an emotional reaction, like if you were in a room. Let me put this to the side and see this combination, which is more of an earthy combination, but you know, same colors, same 5 colors, but composed differently to work with the frequency. This is kind of developing kind of like a material culture that comes from the African American urban community. It's a self-sustained community. And see, these are, you can see that. And I have other combinations of 5 colors that I've worked with and experimented with it. And also, I'm doing these smaller crochet pieces. This is, in the background, you can kind of get this out the way. This is kind of like a composition of, I work with the cosmos too, because I come from an agricultural family. They were farmers and sharecroppers, so they worked with the cosmos, the farmer's almanac and stuff. So a lot of these pieces are based on the cosmos and how they affect plant life, us, animals, and pretty much everything, the weather. And so these are just going to be different. Also, like the other exercise, smaller mandalas for meditation, for concentration, for meditation. So I'm experimenting with different patterns and frequencies and yarns. Different yarns create different kind of effects, and then like these smaller little pieces get composed onto this this piece. And this is that's a certain kind of mood, and this is another kind of mood for a mandala. These are all commission pieces, but also the commission pieces will be part of the study. I think it's a very important study because I think the environment that we're in, it really supports our moods, especially in our homes and stuff. And these are just exercises, and I'm going to be incorporating the same process when I'm working with the furniture pieces. These, you know, they'll have little carpets to go with them. It'll go underneath them like this or whatever, you know. And this is a more mellow, earthy, excuse me, foresty mood because of the greens. But so this is, I'll be showing how I compose these pieces and, you know, how they come more into being in a composition, a mandala composition, which turns out like this. This is a complete mandala, all embroidered, crocheted and embroidered down, and it can be framed in any position, but the position that it was designed for, it could be framed like this. So floppy. This is all made from that nylon threads. I love that thread. Let me see if I can get, well, you can see this is made from the thread. I haven't cut all of the threads, but I really like this thread because it comes in a lot of variety colors. Although, even though it does come come in a big variety of colors, excuse me, I still don't have the control that I would like to have over my colors, because even if it's uh, it may be 100 colors, I'm not sure, and I may be exaggerating, but I still don't have the gazillions of colors that are in nature, in natural dyes and plant life and mineral dyes and pigments to really get the colors I want. I'm kind of limited by this kind of synthetic kind of colors, but I can still work with these. It's still a good exercise to work with. Here's another one, mandala composition, and see the way this one is supposed to be. It's kind of floppy here, trying to get it up so you can see it. But these are fine art pieces and design and experimental pieces. This is my whole practice is experimental. My background is in industrial design, designing for mass production. So what I'm doing is designing. It's kind of taken a while because I've done a lot of research, and plus I was doing a lot of public artwork. But now I'm able to get back to my original plan of working with this these designs, and I plan for a majority of the designs to be crocheted on the circle, because I like the way the circle contains energy, and I like the way, the repeated circle of the pattern kind of has its own energy, as far as the color combination, even the thickness of the circles, even though all of these circles are pretty much the same size. But the circle is very important. Pretty much I wanted to start with a primary, something very primal, and the circle is pretty much as primal as I could think of, because pretty much everything in life comes from a circle, a seed, planets, and pretty much everything comes from a circle. Not everything, but pretty much everything comes from a circle, and it contains it has an energy force of its own. So this is a little preview of some of the things, and then I'll be working on other things too, digital stuff, and it's always several things that are going on in my studio workplace, and it's not going to be a neat space, it's going to be a studio space, so you're going to see a lot of things in the background like you kind of see here, but I tried to cover it up because I was sharing this information. But it's going to be an open studio, so I only take time to do the artwork, prepare food, do a little bit of laundry, clean up every whenever I change projects, and sometimes the projects stay out while other projects are being done, because it's kind of inspiring to look at other projects while I'm working on another one. Not only just looking at them, but thinking about them, because sometimes I can resolve a problem that I was having, or a challenge that I was having while I'm working on something else. So that's about it. Hope you can come to my Patreon project, my Artist Open Studio. Looking forward to, oh yeah, and I started working with this copper wire, which I really, really like. That's another kind of project, and I can get into that a little bit more. Although this doesn't look like this is color plated copper wire, but I can explain that a little bit more. in the Patreon. So I hope you're able to stop by. It'll be, I hope it's informative. You know, I'll be sharing a lot of research. I don't think I'll be crocheting on camera because I tried that before and that was kind of challenging. But hope you can make it. I'd really love you to be a part. All the best. Thank you for stopping by to this YouTube, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.